Welcome, everyone, to Entrepreneuring, a podcast where I sit down every week and talk to a new entrepreneur about their business and what they do. I'm Garrett Weinzierl, and I'm sitting here today with Victor Villalobos from bowwowblends.com. Welcome, Victor.
Morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
I see you also brought a furry friend with you.
I did. You can almost see him here. He's a big boy, but this is Scout. He's our newest member to our family. And what's interesting is he's actually, people don't realize watching the podcast how tall this desk is and stuff, but Scout's a big boy, and you can still kind of get a look of his big gigantic
Oh, you
head.
can just see, like, by the scale of his head to your hand,
Right.
just how large of a dog
He's
he is.
82 pounds of loving golden retriever.
That's wonderful. And he probably thinks he's a lap dog, right? I'm assuming.
Most of the time he does. Yes, he enjoyed the ride over here, hanging his head out the window the whole time. So.
Oh, that's great. Well, you're here to talk about Bow Wow Blends, so let's kick it off with the question: what exactly is Bow Wow Blends?
You know, Bow Wow Blends is, and I brought a bottle of it right here, so we can put it up. Oh, look at that!
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm assuming there's some green on it because it's getting it's getting keyed out and you can see through it.
So it's my wife and I developed it. Back about 2 years ago, one of our other golden retrievers, Ruby, she started developing some real serious problems with her bowels and her stomach. She was getting really sick all the time. Took her up to a specialist up in Albuquerque, and they basically said, you know what, she's going to have to be on some drugs the rest of her life. There were some pretty hard drugs that they had to do. And so we put her on them. Unfortunately, one of the big side effects of that is seizures. And so once Ruby started having seizures, we're like, oh, yeah, this isn't really what we're looking for. And so Shannon started doing a little research and was looking for a more natural remedy to easing her stomach issues. And so we kind of played around with some stuff, made some things at home, and came up with a blend of things that worked to help do it. And sure enough, we were able to take her off of the drug she was on. Knock on wood, no more seizures. And we have a friend that runs an FDA-approved plant where they do human products. And we started talking with her, and she says, you know what, why don't we bring this to market? Why don't we try and do it? So we started working with the Department of Agriculture here in New Mexico and with the chemistry department here at NMSU, and came up with this blend, which is now Bow Wow Blends, right there. And we brought it to market. So it's been doing well. We have it in many stores here in Las Cruces, different parts in New Mexico. We actually have it in Montana and a few other areas, but we're wanting to grow it. And the great thing about it, it's all natural. Everything that's in it comes from human grade facilities from the people that we buy our product from is all human grade. So I actually have a friend that pours it on his oatmeal in the morning. So
A human friend.
yes, a human friend. And it's a little bland. Maybe if you had a little honey to it, it'd probably be good on your breakfast. But so even when we were doing the bottling of it, we want the bottle is made in USA, the lid is USA. So we're real particular. We're very particular about what we feed our pets, and we want to be the same for other people. So.
That's great. That was going to be one of my questions, is if it was human grade, because I actually, right out of college, might tell you how well things did or did not go for me. I worked at a pet store for a little while.
Oh, there you go.
And a lot of the people that would come in, that was a huge selling point, was that, hey, it's human grade, and they would demo it by eating it or drinking it themselves.
And it's tricky. So I can tell you everything in it is human grade. At this point, we're not allowed to put it on the label because there's a huge process you go through to say everything is in here is human grade. So we're working on that. But I can tell you everything in here is human grade. We sample. I mean, when we were making it, we sample it. We taste it, and so you definitely could eat everything that's in there.
That's great. So how'd you go about making your first ever dog smoothie? Like, what was that process like? You said your wife did some research.
Yeah, it really was just Shannon started doing research on what dogs can and can't eat. We knew that we wanted something that was going to soothe the stomach. We wanted something that was going to, part of Ruby's problem was diarrhea and vomiting and stuff. So we wanted something that was going to help solidify, whatever she eats. So we kind of just started playing with things, the different levels. So if you look at Bow Wow Blends, we've got pumpkin, blueberries, bananas, carrots, and cranberry. That's it. Nothing else. We were actually able to get this with the help of the chemistry department here at NMSU. We got this. It is shelf stable for 18 months. not using any artificial preservatives. We were able to use it using these ingredients, just blending them the right way gives it the stability of it. And the only thing you have to do is after you open it, like ketchup or any other thing, you do have to refrigerate it, but not till you open it. So up until opening, this can sit wherever you want it to until you need to. So it was just getting the right chemistry is really what it is, but doing it naturally.
Yeah. How many versions, or like how many times did you iterate before you land on what is now on shelves?
There, I couldn't even tell you. There, at the home version, there was probably dozens, and then even after we went to the processing facility, we have numerous jars, because it was before we were putting it in here, we were putting it like in salsa jars so that we could just, see its consistency and how it tasted. So at home, we have this whole variety of salsa jars of Bow Wow blends, original, different tastes, different, feels of it and stuff, until we finally came up with this one. And even that, I think we did probably 5 or 6 batches at a processing level until we got to where we wanted with this. Look, there's Scout walking on.
He's exploring around.
Yeah, he's interested in the green screen.
So what point are you at right now? Are you selling just locally or within your region?
So we are selling locally. We've been selling locally for about 6 or 7 months. It does well locally, and we actually now have a salesman that he travels New Mexico and West Texas. And so he's gotten us we've gotten into 3 or 4 new places just in the last month. He's just started with us, and it's going well. It's well received. and so, excuse me, it's doing well. Like I said, it's well received. People seem to like it. It's doing well for dogs. We want to be clear. This is not a medical, cure-all or anything like that. It's really just a healthy additive to your dog's food. We do it, we either squirt it onto their food a little bit. Our favorite thing to do, and the dog's favorite thing, and a lot of people we know do it, is freeze it into little ice cubes. So we'll take an ice cube tray, put it in there, freeze it, and you just give it to them as little treats to just, sit and eat on it and have a good time with it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize dogs really actually enjoy cold treats.
Oh, they really do. If I'm getting ice out of the freezer and it falls on the floor, Scouty right here goes right after it, and he just sits and chews on it.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw the dog ice cream treats at the pet shop I was working at, and be like, "What? Really? This is a thing?" And sure enough, gave it to my dog, and he lost his mind. So
yeah, absolutely.
He had a great time with it. So what's the future goal for Bow Wow Blends?
It's hard. It's hard to decide. Where you go, how you do it. Pet food and pet supplements are very different than human stuff. So if we made this actually as a smoothie for humans, we would get this tested, get it FDA approved, and we could sell it anywhere we want. Pet products are very different. It's actually approved by state. Each state wants their money. They want to do their, processing of it, not making it, but actually processing the labeling and all that of it. So there's a lot more expense involved in trying to do that. So currently we're in about 8 or 10 states. Luckily, New Mexico, super high standards. So once you're approved in New Mexico, it's a lot easier to get into other states.
Okay.
But our goal is to expand, get into some of these other states so we can sell in more places. It's a yearly process. So every year, if you do it, you got to do it again next year. I'm hoping it's someday that there's some sort of federal legislation that says, we need to do something that you can do this across the board, because it is very hard. It makes it very hard if you want to expand your product and to move into other areas. It's tough. It's tough and it's expensive.
Yeah, because you have to deal with each state's Department of Agriculture, right?
Exactly, each state's. Yeah, and it's like I said, some states not so bad, other states really hard, and you can get into some states that it's $4,000 or $5,000 a year just to sell in their state. So it gets expensive pretty quick.
Yeah, you have to do your research to make sure it's worth your. Well,
that's just it. If you're not selling, a whole lot of product there, is it worth putting in $4,000 or $5,000 of investment into that? So yeah, we've been really, the way we've been kind of doing it is a circle. So we're in New Mexico, Texas, Arizona, Colorado. Those are areas that we can visit. Those are areas that we've got a salesman that can get into and visit these places. So that's kind of what we're doing, is keep growing that circle around us.
According to your website, you're also shipping to those locations as well, right?
Yeah.
Folks can go to bowwowblends.com right now if you're in Arizona, Colorado, Montana, Nevada, New Mexico, Oregon, or Texas, and you can actually get the ship right to your door.
You can get it shipped to your door. We ship it by the case, and you can get it pretty quickly.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's wonderful. Now, you also have an IndieGoGo campaign up.
We do. We were approached last year by Mavita, the Mesilla Valley Economic Development Agency, and Arrowhead here at NMSU, and they were wanting to kind of start this new crowdfunding campaign, working with small local business that are wanting to grow and expand and do things. And we thought that was a great opportunity. We looked into it and we thought, I wasn't super familiar with the crowdfunding, but I said, you know what, we explored it. So we did. And I tell you what, it's been a great experience, number one, working with everybody. Working with everybody here at Arrowhead it was fun that they made it. They kind of held our hand most of the time walking through stuff. And so it has been. It's been a great experience, and we're about to launch our campaign. I think it launches next week, as a matter of fact. They're having a luncheon next Tuesday, and I think they're going to announce the different. I think there's four of us, four different businesses that are going to launch, and we're excited. We are, and we're going to use that. So we're going to use that crowdfunding. What we're going to do is, you give us your money. We're going to give you something in return. We have some fun stuff we're doing. It's not just Bow Wow blends. We've got some different kind of fun things that we're going to be doing to give away. And then we're going to use those funds to go into those other states. We're going to keep growing that circle. We want to make that circle bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's what we're going to use that funding for.
Oh, that's great. What kind of research did you end up having to do? Was it all through the school, and they just kind of helped you?
It was both. We'd have meetings with them, and then they would say, this is what you need to look at. There's a lot of different crowdfunding platforms, and so we looked at different ones, and we looked at how people did it and how the successful ones did it, and we try to make it fun. We're trying to make it so that you're getting something fun and different in exchange for the funding, and that's it was a lot of research. It was looking into the different. We chose IndieGoGo for our funding, just because the way they set it up, we thought it worked well for us. We thought we liked the way that they did their setup, and it looked like a lot of other people that had not similar products, but products in general. I looked at one that was it was great. It was a bread company in Colorado, small shop. They were trying to get a new giant mixer for making their breads. Well, one of their fundings was, if you give X amount of dollars, they name the bread after you, and any day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, if they're open, you can go in and you get free bread. And I thought, but that's kind of fun. If you lived in the area and you wanted to do it, that was a great way to do it. You'd get Vic's bread, and you can have free bread whenever you want it. So there's a lot of different ways you can do stuff. And so when you go to our page, you will see some kind of fun and different things that we try to do to make it a little bit more exciting on our page.
I love that one of your levels is backers can get their dog in your ad campaign.
Absolutely. Your dog could be your Chihuahua for the right amount of money, could be the new face of Bow Wow Blends for a while.
He's a little wall-eyed. I'm not sure he's ready for his close-up.
I don't know. Wild-eyed could be good.
That's great. So it's your IndieGoGo page looks great. You said your campaign is launching next week. Where can folks go to keep up with that?
So they'll be able to, best way to do it is follow us on Facebook, bowwowblends.com. We're also on Twitter. I know we're going to be doing some advertising. We're going to be pushing it out there, but really bowwowblends.com is probably your best place to follow everything we're doing and be able to participate in our campaign.
Oh, wonderful. Well, great. Well, anything else you'd like to promote and make sure people can follow you before we bring this to a close?
No, I think that just if people want to jump on board, I think that this, we were a little, it's odd asking people for money sometimes, but in doing this, and once we looked at the research and looked how it worked, we think this is a fun and exciting way to do it. I think that this was a ground floor trial for Mavita and Arrowhead doing this. I know going into the future, this is a continued project that we're going to do. I think it's great that we were able to be on the ground floor of this, and I think it's a great way to for people to participate and see local business grow. It really is.
I agree. I've really taken a liking to crowdfunding. It's fascinating to see how
I have since this. I have actually now participated in a few that I go like, oh, that looks like kind of fun, and I get this in exchange, and so we've actually participated in other ones, and I know we plan to actually participate in our co-businesses that are here in town. We want to help them grow as well.
Right. Yeah. It just seems like more and more entrepreneurs are using these tools for their benefit.
Absolutely.
So, well, Victor, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck with your crowdfunding campaign.
Thank you. And, we're looking forward to it.
Everyone, go check it out and support this awesome product. Go to bowwowblends.com. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.